So, for serious student of knowledge, a book by Sheikh Abdul Aziz Al Sadhan, Rahimullah, entitled How to Memorize, How to Understand and Read. I'm going to be going through this. This book split into 4 parts. The first part deals with what all students of knowledge need if they're memorizing, reading, if they're understanding. The next 3 parts will basically deal with them individually. So, this is just going to talk about it generally, all of them, and then in the next video talk about memorizing, and then in the next video after that would be how to read and then how to understand what you're reading. So seeking knowledge is one of the greatest deeds. You're able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly, command good correctly, and command evil correctly. So the number one is supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making dua for all your deeds, because dua for through dua, doors that are closed will be open, seeking protection from knowledge that is beneficial and asking for beneficial knowledge, such as saying Rabbi zidni ilma. That's a dua. Number two is ikhlas. You're learning this knowledge not in order to be the next sheikh out there, but rather you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to teach others, but not to be praised by people or to be amazed by people. And seeking knowledge and trying to be sincere is a form of jihad, trying to fight the desires and whims of shaitan. Number three is staying away from sins. You should be eager to leave off any acts of disobedience, because Ibn Masud mentioned that I consider a person to forget his knowledge due to his sins, because the more sins you have, your heart is not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to guide you and give you that knowledge when you are strayed away from the path by sinning. So it was mentioned by Ali ibn Kashara that I saw Waki ibn Jarrah, and he never used to have books, but he was able to memorize things which I was not able to. They said, you don't have a pen and paper, how do you remember this and memorize more than this? So Waki said, if I tell you what is the cure of forgetfulness, would you act upon it, Ali? Ali said, yes. Waki says, leaving off sins, for I have not seen anything more beneficial for hifz, which is memorization of the Quran, and just memorization in general. And Imam Shafi, he says, I complained to Waki about my bad memory and he guided me to leave enough sins. Number four is reading the biographies of the scholars of the past, reading about the lives of the people of knowledge and scholars. Through that you can find many examples, books of biography of scholars, and one of the example is the book by Al-Dahabi. Students of knowledge should actually spend some time reading this book. Number five is fighting against your nafs and not losing hope. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who strive in our path, we will guide them. If you're striving to seek knowledge, such as not understanding the text or a book you're reading, the dars, there's also a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He said the best jihad is where a person strives against his nafs and his desires. There's another hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said that knowledge is gained through learning and studying, and forbearance is gained through practicing forbearance. And whoever strives for good, he will be given it. And whoever strives to stay away from evil, he will be protected from it. Number six is organizing your time. The most generous of people when it comes to benefiting and teaching people. Some of the Salaf said, if a day passed and we didn't increase ourselves in some knowledge, then that day lacked in barakah, subhanallah. So every day, if you allocate an hour where you definitely have no distractions, no work, and nothing's going to get in your way, you need to be able to use that time to focus on whether it's memorization of the Quran, whether it's seeking knowledge from the true scholars of Islam, whether it's studying the tafsir, the hadith, whatever it is. Organizing your time and having that time blocked out every single day and using that time is better for you than doing hours where you're not able to retain any information or gain any benefit. But if you have an hour or two blocked out every day where you're consistent, because the best of deeds to Allah are those that are consistent, as per the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Al-Hafidh Al-Jawzi, he said, when dealing with people who wasted his time, didn't have any benefit, he said, I would prepare things to do so as not to waste time. If these people visited, he would spend it in cutting paper, sharpening his pencils, organizing his notes, as these things don't require attention. And then number seven is repeating that which you study, whether something you memorize, read and have understood. Repetition is something that helps to stick in the mind, whether it's with a memorization of the Quran, which I have or haven't spoken about on my YouTube channel yet, but there is going to be about even the memorization of the Quran, that repetition, and there's a method that works. So make sure to stay updated on my YouTube channel. Also, many of the ulama say whoever memorizes, meaning the Quran, quickly, they will forget it quickly. So don't hasten to memorize the Quran. It's better to spend more time but be able to have it in your long-term memory than quickly memorize it and then you forget it. So you need to review the Quran, recite it, and finish it. And once you do memorize it, you review the Quran, recite it, and finish it every 5 days so your hifz stays strong. Or you can do up to 14 days. Or if you really have a really busy schedule, then the worst case scenario is in 30 days, but 5 days to 14 days is the best. Number 8 is spreading the knowledge that which you heard, memorize, understand. Spread it with the intention to benefit the people. The first benefit is the fact that you spread the knowledge, you're getting a reward for it, you're acting upon it, and the knowledge will remain with you. And it also helps you when you teach other people. It helps stick in your brain and you keep on going over it and it sticks with you. Number 9, when increasing in knowledge, do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being grateful and thanking Him, because this knowledge is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It also saves you from self-amazement. So when you increase in knowledge, then make sure to increase in the praise of Allah, because He's the one that's giving you the means to increase in knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Ibrahim, if you're grateful, then I will increase you. Then number 10, lastly for this video, increase in the recitation of the Quran. This is one of the issues many of students of knowledge neglect. It will also increase your knowledge. The Imam Ibrahim al-Maqdisi, he gave some advice, one of his students, Abbas, and he said to them, increase in the recitation of the Quran and don't leave it, because in accordance to how much you recite, that is how easy talabul ilm will be. The student Abbas said, I tried this out, that whenever I loved the Quran, I found it easier to listen and digest hadith. If I didn't recite the Quran, I didn't find it easier. This is where I'm going to conclude my video. In the next 3 parts of this short series where I'm teaching you, and there's many more on my YouTube channel where I've gone through tips and things that you can do to help you to increase in knowledge. There's also a study plan for fiqh, understanding how to learn the Islamic jurisprudence, which is incumbent upon all of us to acquire this knowledge. So it's really important to know the roadmap of being able to acquire this knowledge. And there's so many more videos as well, so stay tuned. Make sure to follow my YouTube channel, follow my TikTok page, because the page is going to be filled with content on performing Umrah, Hajj. There's videos on du'as, there's videos on fiqh, seerah, all these sciences that we need to learn. It's all on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I leave you here. Fi amanillah wa sallallahu wa baraka ala nabina Muhammad. Astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.